Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing how to create offers that are so compelling that people will feel stupid saying no to. This could be business offers, this is business opportunities. The same script applies. Okay? So on the last video, I discussed step by step, if I started with nothing, how I would make $10,000 per month. We went down some rabbit holes, we went down some different ideas on potentially the plumbing niche, search engine optimization, potentially helping people out with their Google reviews. If you haven't watched that video, go and watch it because it's a good one. But today I'm going to be saying, how do you create an offer that's so compelling that it would be ridiculous for the business or for the business owner or for the individual that you're presenting it to say no? Because at the end of the day, you have to create an offer. It can't be this wishy-washy thing. It has to be straight and direct. I will do this for you in exchange for this, in exchange for this. So I will do your search engine optimization. I will rank you on the first page of Google for these keywords. If I do that, you pay $500 per month. If I don't, I'll refund you. Or if I don't, I'll work for you for free for the next 3 months until I do so. Okay, so how do you create offers that are so compelling? Now, I've written myself a little script here so that we keep to a better timeline and a better, time of this video. Okay, so it's maybe 5, 6 minutes long, or shorter than the last one. So the point I wrote here is imagine having an offer so good that your customers feel like they have to take it with no hesitation. Okay. And the point is that today in this video, I'm going to show you how to create an offer that's this good. Okay. Step by step, how you can scale your business, how you can start even your business. And if you have started already, how you can potentially change your offer so you can dominate your niche. Okay. So for those of you that are new, if you are new, welcome. I made this channel over a year ago, and the goal is to post consistently to this channel business information that I've learned whilst creating my businesses. I've built two businesses. We've scaled them to really great numbers. One of them was a mentorship business, and one of them is an e-commerce platform. They're all within the trading niche, but all of these business principles apply to other niches and other businesses. Okay. So yeah, let's jump into it. That's a little bit about me. I'm 23 years old. I've been doing e-com, agency work, mentorship, etc., since I was about 17. Okay, and it started off very small and it snowballed into something that I'm now doing full time. So let's go through first. So first, what I've got written here is why most offers fail. Okay, why most offers are truly dreadful. Okay, they're shit ultimately. Okay, the reason being is because most businesses create offers, as I mentioned, that are unclear, that have no value, and they potentially don't directly speak to their audience. So they're pitching it to different people. So for instance, that SEO example, they're potentially pitching it to the wrong businesses. They're pitching it to businesses that are on the first page of Google. Okay, they don't need help. So why are you offering it to them? Or you're pitching it to startups that have just started, that don't even have the cash flow going yet to pay you. Okay, so an offer has to be foundationally correct, right target audience, something that's actually going to create and add value, and something that's got a direct return on investment. So that SEO example that we had works really nicely because if you rank on Google on the first page in your local area, I know that you're going to get more business. Okay, it's a great product. It's a great return on investment. So number three, core components of an irresistible offer. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to stack as much value as possible. Okay, I'm just going to put my little recording thing over here. So what we need to do is we need to create as much value as possible. Okay, people like value, people only pay for value. Okay, when it comes down to businesses in particular. If I'm going to pay for something, it has to improve my business. So for instance, the ranking on Google is a good example. Okay, let's use another example. If you're going to help me get more reviews by automating my review process, that adds value. If you're going to help me with my advertisement, okay, you're going to help me with my paid ads, that adds value. Okay, so you have to stack value and as much of it as possible. Okay, because the more you add, the more it becomes an irresistible offer, the more it becomes tempting. Like, I think when I'm a business owner and I've started out, okay, there have been, offers that people offer me the whole time. I'm going to help you scale your business to this level with this, you pay this. I've been very tempted before, and sometimes it's worked out, sometimes it hasn't. Okay, but the ones that I went for in terms of the offers that I accepted were ones that were so irresistible, they were so clear, they were so clear cut of you pay this, we're going to do this, and this, and we're going to get you these results as a result of it. And I could see the vision, I could see the map, and often more than not, they worked. Okay, because the people were, sharp and they had good conviction. So let's continue on with the notes. So stacked value. The next thing is the risk. Why wouldn't a business owner accept your offer? Why wouldn't I accept an offer from an agency? Well, it's the risk. Usually the risk is this: money. Okay. People don't want to split with their cash. They don't want to take risk. Here in the UK, I found it particularly true that people are quite risk averse. They don't like it. Okay. Other countries, other sort of cultures, it's very, let's take risk. Let's do it. In the UK, it's not so much the case. So you have to think about that with who you're targeting, what your market is. People like to hold onto their cash. They care about spending £1 or £2. You know, that's a whole nother discussion. But ultimately, you've got to give such value that people are willing to split with their cash. And we're not talking about a pound or £2. We're trying to make thousands from deals, okay? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions. So you're trying to make lots of money by providing lots of value to lots of different people, continuing it, cycling it the whole time. So risk, you have to demonstrate that I've written here how you're going to eliminate that risk for the customer. Okay, so a good offer often has guarantees in it. It often has maybe a trial. It often has money back methods. But the often one of the pitfalls is there's no guarantee. Guarantee that you'll get your money back if we don't do well. We'll get you these results. If we get you these results, then we're happy. We're both happy. So the final thing is we have to create a bit of urgency, a bit of scarcity. Okay. Now, this is a tactic when it comes down to closing clients. Okay. So the sales calls, jumping on the phone with people, bit of urgency, bit of scarcity. You have to force people to take action, because when it comes down to risk and when it comes down to value, a lot of the time people have to process it. They have to think. Now, what you want people to do is take action there and then as much as possible. Otherwise, you'll be waiting for people for years. Now, for some of the services that I have, I know people that join a year later. It just does happen. Okay, it takes them a year to process it, to maybe get the cash up and then do it. And that's the whole point of this compounding effect, that you suddenly take off. But you do want people to come quicker than a year, okay? Because you don't want to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs going, oh, we've got no clients. Okay, we're waiting for too long. What you need to do is you need to create a bit of scarcity. We only have 20 spaces. We only have 5 spots left. We're doing a January sale because of a New Year promotion that we've got. If you're interested, jump on now. Force people to make a decision. Say to people, we can check back in with you, but if you're not going to join us now, then I can't guarantee you a spot until 3 months later. It makes people think, okay, what am I going to lose? And that's what you've got to spin on the head, as well as you've got to say, if you don't move forward, hypothetically, with this service, things will never change for you. And you mentioned you wanted an improvement in this within your business and within your life. I can help you get there. Demonstrate the value that you're providing and a bit of urgency and a bit of scarcity. And typically those two things combined together help you get a sale. So, we've only got 5 spots left. Okay. We've got, 20 clients that we want to work with at a given time, because we want to ensure that we're going to get them the best results possible. That's all we're going to take on. If you're interested, come and join on board, and we'll help you get the results that you mentioned that you want to achieve. Okay. The next thing, as part of a core component, is over delivering. Always over deliver. Okay. Whether that's on speed, whether that's on the features that you provide, whether that's the results that you get. Over deliver. Under delivering is bad. Be aware of that. Okay. Over deliver. So when it comes down to creating an offer, promise 1, 2, 3. Don't over promise. But when it comes down to saying, okay, within 1 day you're going to be onboarded, do it within 20 minutes after the call, or 30 minutes. Close the call, send them the email, send them everything you're going to do within 1 day, and do it within 20 minutes. As an example, okay? Over deliver. Walk through a clear framework that by this time we're going to deliver you the results. So let me just look at my notes again. By this time, we're going to, by month 3, we're going to have delivered you ranking for this keyword, this keyword, this keyword. You're going to be here and here and here on Google. Over deliver. Do it within 2 months. So when it comes down to making something really irresistible, make sure your problem that you solve is core. Okay, don't make sure it's a problem that they need. If, for instance, it's something they could go without, they're less likely to take action. Okay, so make it something that they face on a day-to-day basis. Okay, they don't have enough clients. Someone that jumps on the call and says, I don't have enough clients, and you say, this is what I can do for you to get you more clients. It's a brilliant tool and mechanism. If you're jumping on a call with someone that says, I've got too many clients, then you're providing, the wrong target offer to the wrong target audience. Okay, so you need to be really clear, really compelling with the offer. Okay, obviously you're going to have some objections. Okay, so think about those objections, prepare for those objections. People are going to say, what happens if you don't get me the results? What happens if you don't reach the timeline? What happens if I, on month 3, can't afford your service? What happens if this? What happens if that? What happens if this? What happens if that? You're likely going to get 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 objections before you can arrange a deal with someone. Okay, you have to have the objections laid out, ready, how you're going to respond, how you're going to move forward with that person. For instance, if someone asks a hard question and you can't respond, you're like, you know what, Paul? I'm not sure about that. They're not interested. They don't care. Okay. If someone says to you, what happens after 3 months if you haven't got me the results? And you say, that's never happened before with our clients. We know exactly how to get there within 3 months. We've actually, over delivered on several results, doing that within 2 months rather than 3 months. But we set 3 months as a boundary for us so that, we give ourselves a bit of breathing room. But if by those 3 months, something unforeseen comes ahead, okay, and Google changes its algorithm, and we don't, for instance, land you where we promised to land you, I will personally work with you with my team for free for another 3 months for free. We'll set new goals, new outlines, and new boundaries, new parameters. What are we aiming to target for? Within those 3 months, we will hit it. And if we don't do it, I will continue working for you for free until we reach those first milestones. And I can guarantee you that. You can put it in a contract and I can agree with you. Here and now, that's what we'll do. It's compelling, right? It's compelling because you know what you're talking about. And as long as you deliver on your actionable steps and you actually guarantee what you say you're going to guarantee, people are here for it, right? People are here for it. So think of your objections. What might people say? So, for instance, the SEO example, it might be if you don't get the results. It might also be what happens if we don't get sales from it? Think about responses. It might also be, what if month 3 I can't afford it? You say, okay, maybe we can make a payment plan or pricing plan so that in your period of downtime where you don't have as many customers, for instance, we can set up a payment plan. Makes it easier. Just think about the objections because that is also going to help you create a really compelling offer. Okay. The next thing I said here is stack the value, okay, to overcome the objections. Think about the outcomes, the bonuses, the emotional reward you're going to get and your customers will receive, their business will receive, how they're going to feel. Play on the emotions because emotion is what sells. Okay. The more value you add, the more you justify your price, the more the customer believes in you, the more you're going to sell. Okay. But if you say to the customer, you're going to feel better. Your business is going to be better. Your money is going to be better by working with me. It's very compelling. See what I mean? So the final thing I said here is present the offer like a no-brainer. Okay. The way you present the offer is critical. You should frame this deal in a way that the customer feels silly to say no. Okay. The value should completely outweigh the price. So if you're charging something for, let's say, $2,000, using a completely different example to the SEO one, $2,000, but actually it's not worth that. No one's going to buy. But if you provide something for $500 and it's worth $2,000, and people are like, damn, that's going to help me generate this much revenue and it's going to do this for me and it's going to take off this workload from me, or it's going to help me in this way, then it's irresistible. And it becomes very like, it's only this much and I could get this. Let's do it. Okay. Now, the final thing I would say is, and let me just scroll down a little bit, is add some case studies. Okay. I wrote here, add some case studies because, and again, I'll make another video if you've got no case studies. But if you have got some case studies, use them, especially if they're in the same niche. If they're in the same niche and let's say you're within the plumbing niche again, you say, we actually did that plumber around the corner. It's ranking on the first page of Google. It's taking more customers away from you. We're working with them as well, and we've got them really good results. And they're now not just paying us $500 a month, but they're paying us $1,000 because they want to beat you and all the rest. People are like, wow, let's jump in, let's go. Okay, so case studies are perfect. Now, you don't want to make really case studies that compete with other people. For instance, the plumbing example, that was just off the top of my head. But a case study where they feel like, okay, there's another person that's very similar to me. Case studies you can be very specific on as well. You can be showing them case studies of the same age, the same ethnicity, the same gender, and saying to people, look, there's this guy that's exactly the same as you, that's the same age as you. He's also a 27-year-old, plumber that's just started out his own business. He used to be a plumber for 7 years before that, but he started out his own business and now he's doing really, really well. People are interested, right? Whereas if you say, a case study, which is a bad example, but let's say you've got someone that's 60 and you're saying, yeah, we did it for the 60-year-old, but these guys are 27. They're like, where's the relevance? So you want to show case studies that are relevant to the people, if you can, if you've got enough, for instance, and you want to use examples. I'm trying to think of good examples of people that have, you know, convinced me ultimately to work with them. They've shown me a case study of a competitor, and they've been like, we've done this for this competitor. This is what they paid. This is the results that we got. You can see a very clear line, good evidence as well. So, for instance, with an ad agency, an ad company, they showed me a competitor and they said, so and so has done this. They spent this with us. They spent this on the ads and they got these results. And yeah, they were a bigger competitor to us. They were a bigger business. It was quite, interesting. And it was quite compelling. Okay, so we ended up actually working with them, for instance. And yeah, we did well. So, you know what I mean. The final thing, well, I've got two more points, two or three more points that I might add in there. The other thing is to test your offer. Okay, test it, practice it. When I'm doing my calls, it just becomes rhythm. Okay, it becomes my like heartbeat. I've done this hundreds of times before. It's easy. You get on the call, you become friends with them, you have some common ground. You tell them a bit about yourself, you ask about them, how they do, what is it they're actually trying to find. Find out what it is that they actually want to help with. Because I've jumped on calls several times, actually more than, I should have done really. I should have pre-qualified these leads earlier. This was a common mistake at the start. But I jump on calls and I'd be like, I can't actually help you. I just can't. Lovely to meet you. Let's leave this call. Keep in touch. If, for instance, I could reach back out to them in a year's time. But there were often people that just had no money, or they were from, a different part of the world that I couldn't even service, because of the time zone, for instance. They were in America, or let's just use that as an example. That wasn't the scenario in the case, but let's use America as an example. They were from America. I couldn't service them because they weren't allowed to do this, and this, and such was life. Jumped on a call with them, met them, got to know them, still, connected with them on LinkedIn or whatever it is, and we just kept it at that. But yes, I couldn't help them. So you've ultimately got to find and make sure that you're practicing, you're optimizing the whole time. Okay, but it will become second nature to you. So I eventually jump on the calls, get to know the people, see if I can actually help them. If not, I leave it. If I can, then I'll go through my script as usual, which I don't even need to look at anymore. I had a script when I first started of ask them this, say this. I was like, actually just felt robotic. You don't need to do that. Start off by, if they ask this, say this. Start off by saying, if they have this, go to this route. If they don't have this, go to this route. But make it natural. Because again, people buy from people they like. People work with people they want to work with. If you can help convince them with a few, tips and tricks you have, it's not really going to be a deal breaker. They're ultimately going to work with you if they believe in you and if you actually have something of value to add. Okay, so there's no, secret tips and tricks. It doesn't really work like that. Okay, so I guess there's some big pitfalls that people often have, which I'd say that they jump to the price too quickly is one of the big ones. People often say, for instance, customers often ask, people jumping on calls often ask, so what price do you have? And you haven't really asked what they would be prepared to pay, what their financial situation is. Yes, the services that you have often have the same pricing. Okay, so for instance, with this SEO example, for plumbers, it's 500 bucks a month or 500 pounds a month. That's often what we're charging, hypothetically. But if they say, we're a bigger company, we've got a bigger budget, and we would like SEO, social media marketing, ads, blog writing, etc., but they asked you at the start what your price was just for SEO and you gave it to them, and then they're only interested in SEO, you'd be annoyed, right? If they had a bigger budget to play with and you were like, actually, I could help you out with all these four things, let's do it for £2,000 a month instead. Are you interested in that? That would be a better, negotiation and discussion. Likewise, someone that, for instance, can get thrown off by the price. So, for instance, let's use this as an example. Someone comes on call, they ask you what the price is, you tell them straight away, and you say, yeah, it's £500 a month. Like, oh, no way we can afford that. No way. It's just not going to happen. And you're like, where does the call go from here? Is there any point me asking you questions? No. Okay, but if you'd had the conversation with them, you built a narrative, you'd actually told them your story. Yeah, a startup. I'm a new business. I really want to help people because if I help people, you're going to pay me. It's very open. Then they might be like, actually, shit, that dude's cool. He's nice. He actually seems to want to work really hard. We don't have the money right now, but subconsciously they're like, okay, but in 6 months' time, we could work with him. After you built that narrative, and at the end they say what the price is, or you've what I mean by saying at the end, you push them past that and you've said, let's speak about that at the end. You then end up having a better conversation, you've built a rapport with them, and by 6 months' time, you're the first person that they want to go with because they want to work with you. Okay. So a common pitfall is talking price way too early. What did I write as another one? Yes, another one is making the offer way too complex. Okay, make it clear, make it cut. If it's too complex, people are like, what was that? What's your offer? Type thing. Okay, make it easy. 500 bucks, this, 1,000, this, 2,000, this. You can make it so it's tiered. If you've got more money, go for this. Or start off with this. The goal is for us to build up to this, and we'll work together on this. We can use some examples with that in other videos, but tiers are really good as well. Okay, that's often worked really nicely for me. That I work with people for a little bit. Once they're happy with what they've seen, they then go, yeah, let's jump on. Let's do the higher priced product, and I get them results for that, and then they move to the higher priced product, and I get them more results for that, and then they refer their friends, and then they're happy. So how to build a very easy but successful business is making things clear and simple for people. And additionally, and I think about this as well with a lot of people that are in the space right now, is if your offer is so clear and compelling, it's one thing, one product, then in 6 months' time, they might see your face again on social media and they're like, yeah, that's the dude that offers this. I remember that. If you're the dude that offers, oh, what was it? 6 months ago, it was one course program. 2 months ago, it was another one. Today, it's another one. God, does he really have something that valuable to sell me if he keeps changing it? You see what I mean? So not being clear. Let's see if there were any other ones. And also, yeah, not being clear on the customer's pain points. If they say that one of their issues is price, understand that. Okay. If they say one of their issues is trust, understand that. If they say one of their issues is their husband, their wife, their partner, their girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, be clear on that. Understand that. Okay. Write it down, write down some notes, and think about a way to make it more irresistible for them. Saying, if I can do this for you, can we do this? Okay. Often the deals are not done on the first call, they're done on the sixth or seventh text message, or the third or the fourth call. It's later, it's a follow-up. So, um, yeah, I think the final thing as well is making an offer irresistible comes down to what I've written here is just consistency. Okay. Consistency in listening to your customers, listening to people in terms of what they say, and then going back and slightly tweaking things. Don't tweak things too much. Okay. But if someone has said, "Oh, your offer would be so much more valuable if you had this guarantee in it, or your offer would be this valuable if you could add this website production on top of it as a free additional thing, or you could have a trial period, or you could have this and this and this." Listen to it because often those are the people that are going to give you free advice. Again, they're the best people because if they're people that are going to buy from you in the future and you add those things in, often more or not, they come and join later. So that is how I believe you make an offer so irresistible that it makes people feel stupid by saying no. Now, I'm not sure what I'll put in the title, but something along those lines is what this video is about, is how do you make it so catchy, so interesting, so thought-provoking that people are thinking about your offer 6 months later. There's some offers that are on this online that I know that once I've got, the time to invest into those courses and into those mentorships and into those programs, I'm doing them. Once I've allocated a bit of cash aside for those programs, I'm doing them. For instance, because I know that they're so compelling and they're so interesting, so thought provoking that I'm still thinking about them 6 months later from when I first was introduced to it, for instance. So make your offers straightforward and, very, very clear. And make sure you've got your objectives sorted as well. If people are So that's all for now. The next video, I think I'm going to be discussing how to still get sales when you've got zero testimonials, zero customers. This is one of your first potentially handful of sales. How do you get them? And I'll be discussing with you a few strategies, a few things to deploy. a few things to say on calls on how to convince people to give you a shot. I was going to do that on this last video, being this video here, but I thought this was a more relevant video talking about your offer as a call. So I can then discuss next time how to use this sort of information from this video if you've got no customers, no testimonials, to still convince people to give you a shot. All the best. Have a good rest of your day and look forward to the next video. Bye for now.